For this video, I'll be speculating and encouraging speculation based on a single sentence because it's fun and it involves a classic title that we all know and love. But first, if you're wanting to experience something that's not only expanded but also enhanced, November 11th of 2021 is your lucky day. Rockstar announced the release of GTA 5 on the PS5 and Series X in a Newswire post that was mainly about some GTA Online and Red Dead Online updates coming this summer. I'm sure you all knew about this by now, as this was from the 18th, but it's still kinda strange that they haven't shown off what the game is going to look like still. But this wasn't the only interesting news that they dropped in this article. Shortly after this, they made a single sentence mentioning something other than GTA Online or Red Dead Online. In honor of the upcoming 20th anniversary of the genre-defining Grand Theft Auto 3, we'll have even more fun surprises to share, including some specifically for GTA Online players. First, I should say that I'm at least happy that something besides Red Dead Online or GTA Online is finally being acknowledged. The online games are obviously a priority for Rockstar nowadays, and GTA Online is even becoming a standalone title like how Red Dead Online is. But with how much they focus on it and how Rockstar obviously take their time now with games compared to always having something new around the corner like they did 10 years ago, it's easy to think that they might forget about past titles. GTA 4 didn't even get an acknowledgement for its 10th anniversary, besides a bunch of songs being removed and Vladivostok FM being butchered. But GTA 3 was a game changer, pun very much intended. It's what solidified Grand Theft Auto as a prominent franchise, and developers at other studios all began trying to make their own open-world games, hoping to emulate Rockstar's success. Some of these games were good, others not so much. Maybe I'll make a video about that sometime. I still remember the 10th anniversary of GTA 3 like it was yesterday, but 2011 was longer ago than it seems. Guess what? You're 10 years older than you used to be. And so is this game. While it's great that Rockstar are going to acknowledge it for its 20th, what do you think they're going to do for it? With the strong focus in online, it's easy to assume that a GTA Online update is all we would get out of this. Add some t-shirts with radio station logos, maybe make Claude's outfit available for the player to wear, and give us a 2001 Dodge Intrepid as the early 2000s model of the Kuruma. But according to Rockstar, only some of these fun surprises are meant for GTA Online. So what else do you think they're gonna do? I'd honestly hope to see something like they did for the 10th anniversary. First, there's the merchandise. In 2011, they put out a lot of limited edition stuff, and it was pretty cool. Posters, lithographs, t-shirts, a Claude figure, which I guess is supposed to be what Claude would look like if he was in high def, and they also had this pretty cool looking mug too. I just think some new merchandise would be cool, especially for collectors. Back then, they also did a Q&A through the Newswire. Considering how it has been a very long time since they last did an Asked and Answered, I don't think they would do one of those again, or at least not anytime soon. But it would be nice if they talked about more behind-the-scenes stuff for the 20th. You could ask, how much more can they actually talk about? It's a 20-year-old game. But in 2011, they mostly answered questions like why Claude doesn't have voice acting, why the early screenshots of the game have a more cartoonish look, what happened with Darkle and why were his missions cut, and what they changed following the September 11th attacks, but without getting too specific about it. If you want to know more, be sure to check out this video by VadamM regarding exactly what changed. They might have answered a lot of really basic stuff and questions that we all had for years back then. But is there more that they could talk about? I think so. Rather than a Q&A, they could dedicate a full article to talking about how the game was made. Would they do this though? You know, I wouldn't expect it, especially given how secretive Rockstar seem to enjoy being when it comes to many aspects of their game development. But let me dream anyway. Maybe they'll do it. Or maybe not. Okay, they probably won't. And lastly, for the 10th anniversary, there was a mobile port of GTA 3. This was the big re-release of the game back then, which made it available on Android and iOS mobile devices. But do you think that Rockstar might issue another re-release of GTA 3 as an anniversary release? After 20 years of being a genre-defining title, I think it's one game that definitely deserves something like it, especially if it can help introduce it to new audiences. To show people, hey, if you like GTA Online so much, then you need to check this out and appreciate it, because you wouldn't have your current favorite game without it. A Nintendo Switch port would actually be really cool, and I think that's one thing that would get me to buy a Switch. The Switch is really popular, and it's not like GTA 3 wouldn't work on it. LA Noire works on it, and that's a far more demanding game. But if they were to do any kind of re-release to Grand Theft Auto 3 for its 20th anniversary or whenever, there's one word that they could add that would really make people flip out. Or maybe two words, because people also seem to use them both interchangeably despite the fact that they both have two separate meanings. Remake. Or remastered. Would Rockstar do either of them? The idea has been out there among fans for quite some time, and it's a topic for speculation that's been on a lot of people's minds. Back in March, Strauss Zelnick, the Take-Two CEO, did say that remasters were always part of Take-Two's business plans. A month prior to this, Zelnick was also asked a question about potential remasters or remakes of past GTA titles. And while he said that the idea that people might want to see that sort of thing is encouraging, he'd leave any updates to Take-Two's release schedule up to Rockstar. The remake of Mafia was really exciting, and it was great to play it too, but just because that was an IP under Take-Two, it doesn't necessarily mean that Rockstar are going to be forced to do the same thing. And for now, I wouldn't hold my breath on anything related to this. It's not like Rockstar haven't done anything new with older games, but we just don't know what to predict when it comes to this. People thought that Vice City Stories was going to get a mobile port for its 10th anniversary in 2016, and it makes sense to think that because for the 10th anniversary of every other 3D-era title, they all got ported over to mobile devices. But for one reason or another, it didn't happen. Before April of 2018, some out there thought that GTA 4 might get a remaster for its 10th anniversary, or at the very least a PS4 version. That didn't happen. But then we did get a remaster of LA Noire. I'm not sure if many people expected this or even asked for it, but I'm glad we got it anyway. But then that was just a remaster. A full remake would be a huge project. And because this is Rockstar that we're talking about, it's just hard to predict either way what they're gonna do. Now, having said that, what do you think they're gonna do for GTA 3's 20th? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.